How's it going, guys? Jason Wolf here with SOG Tactical Group. SOG Tactical Group is a dedicated training outfit for mainly military and law enforcement. We do also offer civilian classes. I'm the Chief Technical Officer and instructor for the company. We're going to talk a little bit today about some very simple space creating drills to be able to access weapons. First one we're going to look at, Jerry's going to help me here, is going to be a shock entry. Shock entry or shock shield. We actually have two different variances. So a shock entry, what I'm looking at is from a ready position or some position where we know there's going to be a confrontation. What we're looking at is, I'm looking at Jerry's feet here as real estate. So if I draw a square around the box of where his feet are and the box of where my feet are, when I'm done, I need that real estate. I'm moving to take his real estate. So as Jerry starts to make some kind of hostile move, we're going to build on what Eric was talking about with the hand checks. So I'm going to create this seam, right? So if Jerry puts his hands together like this, I don't have a seam here. There's nowhere that I can penetrate into his center line, right? This is a very common trained response where guys that have some training will blade off and keep a closed seam. Untrained guys, boxers, or guys that have a little bit of boxing experience, will keep a line in between open, right? So as Jerry's got the hands up, I'm going to use the same technique Eric talked about with the hand check. Now my shot here is going to be a 45-degree angle across the sternocleidomastoid muscle and the clavicle. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to kind of gooseneck my arm here, and I'm going to make sure I get real good purchase with my forearm into the clavicle, the sternum, and the SCM here. It's very similar to a brachial stun. So as we do it, he comes in, I'm looking for that motion, right? Notice I advance and I take his real estate. This is now my land, I own this. So we're looking at creating that hole, making a seam, getting that good brachial stun, that shock entry here, and I want to check simultaneously high line and low line, here and here. So I'll look at a hip check also to help move his lower body. So one more time, so we come in, and I'm looking at that motion. Very little movement, very good effect on target. The next level to that is producing weapons from concealment. As concealed carry guys, as law enforcement, as military in austere conditions, what we look at is building that step here to be able to free this hand. So instead of checking that hip, I'm looking at shocking and following in with that blade deployment or whatever weapon system you're going to deploy. At that point, I can deploy pistols, if I have a gun. So this comes in, I'm looking at this, I'm deploying the blade, I'm looking at targeting, and then I'm scanning for second and third man in. So maybe he's got buddies, maybe I track a guy coming out of a car with a baseball bat, and I can look at improving my weapon system for range. Again, Jason Wolf, SOG Tactical Group with AwesomeKarateDrills.com. Train hard.